Hello, everybody, and welcome to What's the Story podcast. This is WTS 338. My name's Danny Murray.
And I'm Graham Merrigan.
All right. A short and sweet episode this week, lads. We've no guest. Myself and Mary decided we were going to catch up after a gorgeous weekend recently, celebrating the reunion. Celebrating guns falling silent across Manchester as the Brothers Gallagher have reunited and are currently rocking stadiums around the world. But before we start, Mero, I'm going to do something I wouldn't normally do, and you're probably going to be surprised because I haven't told you I'm doing this. But I, for the first time in a long time, looked at some of our listener statistics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was surprised to find that, now it's only 4%, but still 4% of our listenership is currently from, want to guess?
Well, the last time we did this a couple of years ago, there was people in fucking on the border of South North Korea, so
Yeah,
I have no idea.
4% of our listeners, Graham, are coming from apartheid Israel. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So now look, I all I'm going to say is if those people who are listening are listening to us because they agree or they disagree with the stance that me and Mero would take, which is very much free Palestine, stop the forced fucking shit show that you're subjecting the people of Gaza to. But reach out to us, get in touch with us, right? Because I'd actually like to know the people in Israel who are listening to this podcast. What's going on? What do you think? What do you see? What do you hear? Because your government and Benjamin Netanyahu are an absolute shower of murdering shitbags. And
that's after ruining my fucking day. I didn't know that.
There's
Now,
absolutely
having said that, if they're fucking UNICEF charity workers that are trying to get in with aid, all solidarity to you.
Absolutely. But they could be people in Israel, Graham, who are not pro Netanyahu and the Netanyahu regime. Of course. That's why I'm curious to know, because you and I are political stuff, and like we don't get political on this podcast that much. But like, just there is nothing to suggest that we would have people who would be pro what the Israeli power machine is doing. So I'm just kind of curious. So I just said, you know what, fuck it, if they're listening, get in touch with us, talk to us, tell us, because I'd like to know. But either way, yeah, look, what's happening in Palestine is fucking horrific. People need to speak up more. People in power need to do more. Like, the world is watching this happening. It's a shit show. It shouldn't be happening. And not want to usually try and do stuff like this in the podcast, but
it's getting worse. It's getting worse. As we record now, it's getting worse.
Well, that's literally...
And how can it get worse than it already is? Like, they're sending people to refugee camps with tents 1 minute, and now they're blowing up those tents and those people in their refugee camps who had nothing in the first place and who are now scouring trying to find their tent under rubble. It's a fucking travesty. It's a disgrace.
Absolutely, it's fucking disgusting what is happening, and the more people stay silent, or the more people try to close their eyes and ears to this, or try to not accept and address what is a man-made humanitarian crisis. It's beyond a crisis at this point.
Absolutely.
But you're playing into Israel's hands. And I get it's 100%. It is not all Israelis. It is definitely not. It's not a Jewish thing. I've seen one or two people. That religion has nothing to do with this, lads. Evil is evil. But yeah, if there are people and our statistics,
nothing to do with religion, and just because you're against the Israeli state, it doesn't mean that you're anti-Semite either.
Yeah, that's
the biggest load of nonsense I've ever heard.
That is the
in my
lowest
life.
common denominator of a counter-argument possible. Absolutely nothing to do with religion. Calling out shit that's wrong is regardless of...
Not you or I aren't religious in any form.
Couldn't give a shit what imaginary person in the sky you pray to. Couldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? But what I do care about is the forced fucking starvation of people,
men, women, and children
who are innocent, regardless of everything else that's going on. So, if you're one of the 4% of our listeners that are based in Israel, get in touch with us. Let us know. Talk to us. Tell us what's happening. Tell us what you see, what you hear. Let's, like, more conversations are needed. More people need to be aware. More people need to understand what the reality of it is. So talk to us. Anyway, that's it. Let's move on. Right, Graham, you and I, separate evenings, but we both attended the gigs of the summer last weekend.
Gigs of the summer, gigs of a generation.
They were absolutely. Right, I'll be honest with you, right? I was really looking forward to it, but there was that part, like, I was a huge Oasis fan in my teenage years. Kind of went away from them then because I
They're
hadn't.
heartbreakers.
Well, just, yeah, the constant drama, the constant just, shut up, lads, will you? But it was the fans, right? Just these fucking arsehole Liam Gallagher wannabes, right? And I just couldn't. And like building up to the concert last week, there was a part of me that was kind of like, is this just going to be 80,000 wankers saying sunshine in a very annoying accent, thinking that they're fucking hilarious? And I was dreading it. And I couldn't have been more wrong. I was so surprised. That might have been the most wholesome atmosphere I have been part of in years. I couldn't believe this was lads in their 30s and 40s openly crying and hugging their mates through
Yeah,
whatever the power of this fucking event was. It was like a healing moment for people. It was fucking gorgeous, man.
it was
And
unreal, wasn't it?
it
Like that.
started with Richard Ashcroft. Like, cast were good, right? But
Yeah,
Richard Ashcroft, like, just the second he started playing a few of those Verve numbers, it was the crowd just sort of suddenly lifted,
it
and you
was a
could feel
perfect support act, wasn't it?
unbelievable, man. And it reminded me just how good the Verve were. There's a Sonnet,
Yeah.
Lucky Man, Drugs Don't Work, and in Bittersweet Symphony. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, but then Jesus, when Oasis took the stage, like, you could the roar. Like, it was one of the loudest crowds I've been part of for a start. Singing every word non-stop. There wasn't a dull moment. Even the slower songs, like Talk Tonight.
There
Uh,
wasn't a piss break. Like there wasn't.
well, I mean, there was. Bring it down. Yeah, that's the one song I would have been like, I get that the fuck out of that set list.
Yeah, but Bring It Down was on like was the fourth or fifth song. You're not wanting to go for a piss that early, are you?
I know, but had that been maybe an hour into the set, I would have been like, forget, I'm
Yeah,
over
you'd
it.
probably say right.
Yeah.
I'll chance it now, but
I,
you're
the,
still like some might say it was on before Bring It On Down, so you're still buzzing from that.
yeah,
Then to
yeah,
go into that, and then of course, cigarettes and alcohol was after that. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the buzz of that was it
Ah, it
was
was
just
no, it was,
it just it's just such a feel good, wholesome vibe. Even the lead up to it, like
yeah.
I've been an Oasis fan since forever. Like, um, seen them so many times over the
Mm,
years. Um, and because of the reunion, because of the hassle to get tickets, as well. On the week leading up to it, I was checking my events on the Ticketmaster app. I'm not even joking. Every day, I was checking every day to make sure the tickets were there, and to make sure it was the right day. And
yeah,
you're just in a bit of a panic, I suppose. But the lead up to it and the footage that we seen from Cardiff and from Wembley and stuff like that, and I don't think there was ever any doubt that like there were cynics saying, "Oh, will they even make it to Dublin and all?" But I
of
think
course, yeah,
I think Noel's a contrarian, and I think even Noel has been taken back um by the response and by
mm,
like there was footage of him on the first night of the gig, and he got very emotional while he was
yeah,
playing.
yeah,
And he actually spoke to Talksport during the week, and he said he's been taken back. He said he said there's no words to articulate how I'm feeling about all this in such an emotional, positive kind of situation. So as soon as you've seen all that footage, you're
yeah,
kind of going, this is definitely going ahead. But because it
yeah.
was a year in the making, you're kind of going, oh, there
But
was just a nervousness in me
yeah, but
before it, like,
it's funny though because like I didn't watch or check any of the stuff from any of the gigs that had happened previously. I just wanted to go into it and just be like, let's just see what it is, kind of thing.
yeah,
But like, it's gas because you're listening to people talking and that exact thing of like, oh, will the brothers even make it to Croke Park? Will they not just have a bus? And it's kind of like they're a lot older now, right? They don't
mm,
have that same nonsense bullshit you have in your 20s and 30s. The older you get, one, you don't have the energy for it. Two, you realize there's a lot more to the world than fucking just all that kind of nonsense. But I just laughed in because I was like, they're staying in separate hotels. They're not traveling together. Like they've clearly learned from the past where it's kind of
Yeah.
like we can be around each other and love each other for a couple of hours and it's no problem. But you put us into a condensed environment for so long, we're gonna box it like any brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I just thought, they've learned. The lessons have been learned here. This is great. Like, you know what I mean? They're only doing what, 2, 3 gigs a week, so they're giving themselves plenty of downtime, plenty of time to kind of step away from it and
Probably
give
down to
themselves.
Liam's voice because I thought Liam sounded absolutely amazing.
It's the best I've heard Liam in years. It is
Yeah,
the best I have heard Liam in years. But also, he seemed to be enjoying himself as well.
yeah,
The
yeah.
last time I saw it, now, obviously, what you're going back like 16, 17 years, whatever it was, he wasn't enjoying. You could tell by him. He did like he just did. There was you could almost sense the tension in the band. Like and
When was
last
the last
week,
time you saw them live? Were you at Slane?
no, I didn't go to Slane.
I was
Um,
in Australia. I didn't go, and this thing was raging. Although I hate Slane, but
I can't remember. I know I went to see him in Marley Park. That was like 04, 05. I
oh,
think I went to them.
Marley Park '05 up until last weekend was one of the
Yeah,
greatest days
it was
ever. The
amazing.
weather was
It was
sensational.
absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I think I did see them after that though, but I can't remember to be honest with you.
Yeah, you would have. They played Marley in the July of 2005, and then they played the Point in the December of 2005.
Yeah, yeah.
The tickets literally went on sale the week
I
after Marley.
I think I've seen them 4 or 5 times, and I think the ones that stand
You
out, like Marley, I saw them Marley.
you were in Lansdowne in 2000 as well, weren't you?
No, I was too young to go. John
Okay.
went.
Yeah,
Um,
John was it,
Wit-
John O'Reilly.
Witness 2002.
Oh, that's right. Brilliant.
Um,
I didn't really like that set, but
no, but
it was
Marley
grand.
obviously then yeah, I can't, but Marley always stood out to me because Marley, like you said, everything about the day was just class. It was just a
Yeah.
great day. Like, but last weekend's gigs were just so fucking good, man. They were just, and I've been on it. It's weird, like on social media, you've seen a lot of people talking like how the come down after it. You're kind of sitting there and you're like how are we meant to get that mood back? And you can't. You will never, even if Oasis come back again next summer, as they're apparently going to, whether you believe the rumors or not, um, it won't be the same. And I think people need
No.
to understand and accept that that was a moment in time.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was like this is the reunion, right? This is like you never thought it was going to happen. 16 years since they last played here. Like you're never going to get that moment back. That moment when they walked out on stage, arms in the air together, and like I said, they're like grown men in their 40s.
Al
Brian,
Foran texts me on Monday and goes, "How can we go from that to this?" And it was a picture of the Rosa trilogy.
yeah, I mean, there you go. Do you know what I mean? Like, and this weekend
But
even, right? I'm going to Robbie Williams this weekend, and don't get me wrong, like Robbie Williams, it's going to be a good concert.
are you going with your wife?
I am going with my wife, yeah, yeah. It's in
I
Croke
didn't even
Park.
know he was playing till last week.
Yeah, Croke Park,
Don't know
sold
how I
out.
missed that.
And I've seen him before. He puts on a good show. In fairness to him, he's got a few bangers from over the years. I'm looking forward to it. I've no doubt it's going to be a good gig. But at
Yeah,
some point in that concert, will I sit there and will I say to myself, "It's not as good as last"? Of course, I fucking will. Of
yeah.
course, I will because it won't be. I don't think I will see a gig in a long time that will stack up against that Oasis gig. It
No,
will.
I won't. You're never going to get anything like it. And I know, like you've been kind of obsessed with U2 over the years, and that their
Hmm.
live performances are excellent. But um, I've gone to see U2 with you twice, and we sat together, and I always find it very entertaining when Bono goes on his waffle, and you just go, "Ah, not fucking this,"
And it was more, he's going to do it. Like, do you know what I mean?
and
You're
you
just,
know he's going to
but
do it, and it's
just
like
play the hits, boys. Just play the
just
fucking
just
hits.
shut up and play the music, like you know.
That's it. Yeah.
Personally, I don't think I'd ever go and see U2 again. I don't think they've produced any good albums in years, but
Ah,
that's
no. In
beside the
fairness,
point.
I think I do actually think that the last album, but that's what 6 years nearly
Just
since
think
that album.
Bono's a flute, though.
He is a bit of a flute, yeah. But like, there's that part of me as well that I'm kind of like, I think there's a thing with Bono where like he doesn't do himself any favors, but equally, it's just very easy to jump on the I hate Bono bandwagon. And like I don't hate him, I don't love him. I'm kind of just like he's grand, like he's an arsehole, but he's grand, like you know.
He's a pox, is what he is.
I think the preachiness is obviously what does it for people.
But I think
You know,
we spoke in the intro there regarding Palestine and stuff like that,
yeah,
and the preachiness. the inconsistency of his preaching this is what boils my piss. If you're
Yeah.
going to put yourself out there in a pedestal for preaching about humanity and stuff like that, and then be silent for 2 years on the people of Palestine, and then come out with a statement like the timing of their statement in the last week or two was just absolutely crazy. And
Yeah.
I did kind of laugh at him in regards to the statement. There was 20 pages and it had Bono one of 10. So he spoke 10 pages of a U2 statement, then Edge, then Clayton, then Mullen. And Mullen
Mm.
completely disappointed me. I thought he was supposed to be the objective kind of
No, no.
working class element of U2. Jesus, was I naive and wrong to think that? But my point being is that if we're going off in an intro to say, people need to speak up who are in
Mm.
a position of power or whatever, and Bono, who has an audience with whatever president he wants to, and he's just been sitting on his hands for 2 years. Like you don't have expectations of Liam Gallagher coming out and saying things like that. You just don't have an expectation of him doing it. But you do
Mm.
have an expectation of Bono when he's put himself on a huge fucking pedestal for Live Aid, for his Red charity with AIDS in Africa,
Yeah.
which are all noble things to do. But when you become silent on a man-made humanitarian disaster, like, hold
Yeah.
on a minute here. And then
But
you become preachy and you're
yeah.
almost gaslighting everyone.
And I think that's the problem now, right? Like, and he's softly tried to go and sort of, point it out. Like, I'm yet to hear him call out the atrocities that are being committed by the Israeli government without then sort of saying, "Oh, but Hamas." And it's
Yeah.
like this isn't a time for whataboutery. This isn't a
No,
time for any
exactly.
of that shit. The reality is, like, he is being critical of Benjamin Netanyahu. Brilliant. More of that, please. But you don't need to qualify it every single time by then saying, "Oh, but Hamas are a shower of bastards." They may very well be, but at the end, like, and I am not pro Hamas. I said to you for years with all this stuff, like, yeah, two-state solution, definitely, I believe in that. But equally, I think Hamas are a shower of pricks, right? The reality here with this is that, like, even if people are in Palestine and they're trying to attack Israel, at the moment, can you blame them? Right? They're like under forced oppression. But on top of that,
Yeah,
like, let's be honest, right? You're talking about a situation where they're essentially throwing fucking rocks. And
exactly.
the Israelis have like
The
military grade
third or
equipment.
fourth biggest army in the world.
Like it's just unfathomable to me that people are sitting there and they're saying, "Oh well, I mean, that's." It's like no, no, this
Yeah, and
isn't.
let's as well be remembered as well that Hamas were created in 1989.
Mm,
The occupation of Palestine took place in 1947. So, I
look,
mean, Israel created them.
you and I aren't qualified enough, Graham, to talk
No.
about the history. And maybe look, we'll get somebody on to talk about the history of it. That might be actually a worthwhile fucking podcast. But like,
If Chomsky wants to get on, give it a buzz.
Noam Chomsky, yeah,
No, Chomsky,
uh,
sorry.
yeah. Look,
But yeah, back to Oasis. I mean, the lead up to it, the actual gig, like in terms of the wheelchair setting,
yeah,
at the gig, like it was at the very back of the pitch, but there was two elevations,
mm,
uh, and the first elevation, gonna say 5:45 when we got in, was completely full, but there was an upper tier which was unbelievable. And that's where I was situated, could see everything, even if someone was trying to stand in front of me on the lower tier, like,
yeah,
a companion or
brilliant.
whatever. But it was absolutely amazing. But there was one thing that you didn't get on Saturday night that's probably quite irrelevant. But anyway, the
The fireworks.
pyrotechniques were sensational.
See, I fucking hate fireworks, Graham.
I love fireworks.
I couldn't give a toss about them. Honestly, like
No
people,
pyro, no party.
you keep saying that, and I just think it's the biggest load of nonsense. Like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't care about bright things to make a loud noise. Honestly, I don't. Like, I mean,
Right?
if I
Make
want
it.
I just don't get fireworks. I just don't get it at all. I just think it's kind of like, don't, right, okay, yeah, like I'm not trying to be an absolute right keen on this, but like some people, I heard some people saying that kind of, oh, geez, our fireworks didn't work on. Did you see? I'm like, I didn't go to Oasis for fireworks.
Ah, no, either did I,
Like,
but they're a
so I
lovely
don't,
touch.
so I don't give a shite about them.
And
Like,
and they were green, white, and orange fireworks, which is great. Do you know what was a lovely touch? Do you know
I
what
don't
was a
give a
lovely
fuck.
touch? The intro, the aisle triangle. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, that was a nice tour. I don't know if it was the same for you or not, but at one point, they also played Crazy World, and I think they were trying to get the crowd to start singing along, and there was a couple of false starts, and
Right.
it just didn't. It didn't ignite, or maybe it was a genuine thing of the sound system cut out because it was like they got the chorus, and then they wanted the crowd to pick it up from there and sing, or maybe it was singing to the
But
sound system. I don't know, but either
but
way,
was that part of the show though? Because I
well,
think they've put in their official set list that um Luke Kelly was the start of the show,
yeah, yeah,
and
I know,
then
yeah, yeah.
into fucking in the bushes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
maybe if other people were there on the Saturday night and they twigged the Aslan Crazy World thing, let
yeah,
us know at WTS Pod on Instagram. Um, but I just thought it was kind of like, are they trying to get people to sing along? It feels like they're trying to force a bit of karaoke. That's not quite happening. And then they played a couple other tunes, and then yeah, the old triangle. And the crowd did get onto that one and sang along and everything
yeah.
else. And then yeah, we put this festival on, you bastard. And the whole place went bananas, you know? So,
It was, this
uh,
is not a drill. Ah, it was unreal.
yeah.
What was your favorite song of the night, or did you have one, or was it all of them?
I know it was all brilliant. I'll tell you what songs it caught me off guard, and I wasn't expecting to have one of those moments where you kind of,
You cried, didn't you?
no, I didn't cry. No, it's not Bruce Springsteen, Graham. Um, I did have a moment though where I kind of like just stopped and just sort of found myself just looking around the stadium and thinking to myself,
This is deadly.
This is like I'm delighted I'm part of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I put it up on Instagram then during the week as well that I was very fortunate that an Irish Times photographer actually got a photo of me with the lads from Oasis. It was a great photo. Did you see it?
What? Oh yeah, you dickhead. Yeah.
I mean, there was 80,000 people in the photo, but like I'm just delighted about it.
You're
Um,
just in
but
it, yeah.
but I think like for me, the ones that kind of caught me off guard were Little by Little and Stand by Me. I
Yeah,
I,
little by
I
little caught me off guard. I have to agree.
I don't know why I like they're both great songs and Stand By Me particularly like Be Here Now gets a bit of a bad and there are some terrible songs on Be Here Now.
I
But
love it though.
I was gonna say, but over the years I've actually grown to like it more than I did when it came out. And I think like songs like that, like
They
Stand
rushed
By
it, didn't
Me,
they? They rushed the release of that album
I think they did, yeah. I think but
just
Stand
because they
like
were on a meteoric rise to fame after Definitely Maybe. I think they just
and
rushed
Morning
that, didn't
Glory.
they? And
Yeah, after
Morning
Morning
Glory,
Glory.
yeah.
Um yeah, they did. But I think I would have loved if they played all around the world. I would have fucking loved to play that.
Yeah.
But
It's eight
either
minutes
way,
long
yeah.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can condense it, you know what I mean? You don't have to do the la 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 for the
Ah, you
fucking
have
7 minutes
to.
of it. No, you do a little bit of it, but you don't have to do it for the fucking 7 minutes that you do it for on the track. Anyway, my point being,
I got very emotional at Champagne Supernova.
see, I hate
Um,
Champagne Supernova.
oh my God, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite. Well, I mean, there's so many Oasis songs.
It's like it don't like it's fine, right? But I was just kind of like, ah, yeah, grand. Like it's just
I don't
not.
know. It's very nostalgic for me for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
Rob now, who I was with, he want to see his eyes leaking for Cast No Shadow,
Cast No
and
Shadow was brilliant.
like he was full on whinging,
Yeah,
and then goes and he's looking at me and he's like, "Why am I whinging?" And
Half
it's
the
like,
World Away was another one actually.
"Oh yeah."
That was that
There
was
was a bit in
gorgeous.
Cast No Shadow where Noel was singing to Liam, and that's when Rob started absolutely whinging like a baby.
Yeah, no, but I think
Rob's like, "Why am I crying to millionaires?"
exactly, yeah. But no, it was just look, it was absolutely brilliant. But I think
Anyone that's listening, give Rob Cavan a stick for ball and whinge and crying at Cast No
no,
Shadow. Thank you.
absolutely don't. Rob, you're a grown man and you're in touch with your emotions, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And a woke leftist, elitist, globalist like Graham Merrigan should be embracing that.
I
Anyway,
loved whatever as well, Danny.
so whatever was great. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look, genuinely, the whole fucking thing was. You know what I mean? As
yeah,
I said to you, I was expecting it to be good. I ended up being blown away because it was great.
yeah. It was blown away.
And
Yeah,
and as like,
I, I'm
yeah,
ecstatic for Peggy Gallagher. Absolutely ecstatic for her. I'm
yeah,
so happy for her that her boys are back.
yeah. Without question, it'll be like in 20 years' time, it'll be like a gig that people
Still
are still
talked about.
talking about. Um,
Yeah,
But anyway, look, we said this was going to be a short one. Myself and Mero are now off to just continue adding Oasis songs to our playlists on Spotify. But if you want to hear more of our conversations that aren't as effusive about Oasis and cover the latitude of other things, you can also, while you're doing your Oasis crack on Spotify, put us into Spotify and give us a follow there. You can also get us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Podcast Republic, anywhere and everywhere there's a podcast or probably an Oasis song. You'll find us if you just search WTS Pod. He's at American Mania on the socials. I'm at Danjo Murray. Until next time.
Hold on. It would be remiss of me not to mention one of the greatest scorelines in a League of Ireland European history last night.
Shells had a great win, you're right.
Shamrock Rovers beat Santa Clara away from home 2-1. The second leg is in Tallaght Stadium next Thursday. Everyone be there, neutrals, casuals, whatever. Get your tickets and be at that. For history, the first time a club that didn't use the Champions Path will potentially qualifying for the league phase of the Conference League. Come on, the Rovers!
You're saying that as if it's a big deal. The Conference League only exists about 5 years. Was
huge deal.
Was that a test match similar to what the Lions would have when they played Australia?
Not. Absolutely not. It wasn't friendly. It wasn't 4 countries against 1. No.
Well, I mean, you know,
it wasn't 4 countries against 1. You mentioned Shelbourne's result. They should be getting to the league phase as well because I can't see Linfield getting back to a 3-1 deficit. What a mad thing, leaving a week before they start the European campaign. Anyway, get your tickets to Rovers, Tallaght Stadium next Thursday, kick-off 8 p.m. Shamrock Rovers versus Santa Clara, a chance to make history. Clear eyes.
Come on, Bowles.
Full hearts. Buck Bowles. Good night.